Decisive wars between Rome and the Germanic tribes. The long-standing conflicts between Rome and the Germanic tribes were marked by pivotal wars and battles that shaped the boundaries of empires and the identities of peoples. These wars were not mere territorial skirmishes but decisive events that altered the course of history, impacting both the Roman Empire and the Germanic tribes. Below is an exploration of the most significant wars and campaigns that define this epic struggle. 1. The Cimbrian War, 113 to 101 BCE. Conflict: Rome versus the migrating Cimbri and Teutons. Key battles: Battle of Arezzo, 105 BCE, a catastrophic Roman defeat, with over 80,000 soldiers killed by the Cimbri and Teutons. Battle of Aquae Sextiae, 102 BC, Roman general Gaius Marius annihilated the Teutons. Battle of Vercelli, 101 BC, Marius decisively defeated the Cimbri, ending the threat. Significance: the Cimbrian War was one of the earliest large-scale conflicts between Rome and Germanic tribes. Rome's eventual victory under Marius showcased its adaptability and military might, while the tribe's initial successes revealed vulnerabilities in Rome's defense. 2. The Roman campaigns in Germania, 12 BCE, 16 CE. Conflict: Rome's attempt to conquer Germania. Key events: Drusus the Elder's campaigns, 12 to 9 BC, pushed deep into Germanic territory, building infrastructure like the Fossa Drusiana Canal. Varus' defeat at Teutoburg Forest, 9 C. Arminius ambushed and annihilated 3 Roman legions, halting Rome's expansion east of the Rhine. Germanicus' retaliation, 14 to 16 CE. Germanicus led punitive campaigns to avenge Teutoburg, recovering lost legionary eagles but failing to subjugate Germania. Significance: this series of campaigns marked Rome's most ambitious attempt to conquer Germania. The defeat at Teutoburg Forest was a decisive turning point, forcing Rome to abandon expansion and focus on fortifying its Rhine frontier. 3. The Marcomannic Wars, 166 to 180 CE. Conflict: Rome versus the Marcomanni, Quadi, and other Germanic tribes. Key battles and events: Germanic tribes crossed the Danube and launched devastating invasions into Roman provinces, even threatening northern Italy. Emperor Marcus Aurelius personally led campaigns to repel the invaders, achieving several victories. The wars included brutal sieges, pitched battles, and Roman counteroffensives deep into Germanic territory. Significance: the Marcomannic Wars exposed Rome's vulnerabilities during the height of its power. Marcus Aurelius' leadership ensured the empire's survival, but the conflicts foreshadowed the growing pressure on Rome's frontiers. 4. The Alemannic Wars, 3rd to 4th century CE. Conflict: Rome versus the Alemanni Confederation. Key battles: Battle of Mediolanum, 259 CE, Emperor Gallienus defeated the Alemanni, halting their invasion of northern Italy. Battle of Strasbourg, 357 CE, Roman general Julian decisively defeated a much larger Alemanni force, capturing their leader, Cnodamar. Significance: the Alemannic Wars were part of the broader Roman struggle to secure its Rhine frontier. While Rome achieved several notable victories, the repeated incursions highlighted the empire's declining ability to maintain control over its borders. 5. The Gothic Wars, 3rd to 5th century CE. Conflict: Rome versus the Visigoths and Ostrogoths. Key events: Battle of Adrianople, 378 CE, Fritigern's Visigoths annihilated a Roman army led by Emperor Valens, exposing the empire's vulnerability. The sack of Rome, 410 CE. Alaric I led the Visigoths in a symbolic sack of the Eternal City after years of conflict. The Gothic War, 535 to 554 CE. The Ostrogoths, led by Totila, resisted the Byzantine Empire's efforts to reclaim Italy, waging a fierce but ultimately unsuccessful campaign. Significance: the Gothic Wars were instrumental in the collapse of the Western Roman Empire. The Gothic kingdoms that emerged in its wake became key players in the transformation of Europe during the early medieval period. 6. The crossing of the Rhine, 406 CE. Conflict, mass migration, and raids by Germanic tribes. Key events: in 406 CE, Germanic tribes, including the Vandals, Suebi, and Burgundians, crossed the frozen Rhine en masse. These tribes overwhelmed Roman defenses, leading to widespread chaos in Gaul and beyond. Significance: this event marked the beginning of the end for the Western Roman Empire. The massive migration and settlement of Germanic tribes within Roman territories accelerated the empire's fragmentation and transformation. 7. The Lombard invasion of Italy, 568 CE. Conflict: Lombards versus the Byzantine Empire, formerly Eastern Rome. Key events: after the Gothic War weakened Italy, the Lombards invaded and established a kingdom, occupying much of the peninsula. Byzantine forces retained control of limited areas, including Ravenna and parts of southern Italy. Significance: the Lombard invasion marked the final chapter of Roman-Germanic conflicts in Italy. It cemented Germanic control over much of the former Western Roman Empire and contributed to the development of medieval European kingdoms. Recurring themes in decisive wars: guerrilla warfare and terrain mastery. Germanic tribes leveraged their deep knowledge of local terrain to ambush Roman forces, as seen in the Teutoburg Forest and other battles. Roman adaptability: despite defeats, Rome repeatedly demonstrated its ability to reorganize, adapt tactics, and launch counteroffensives, such as during the campaigns of Germanicus and Julian. Shifting alliances: both sides used diplomacy to weaken their enemies. Rome often allied with certain tribes against others, while Germanic leaders exploited Roman internal divisions. Transformation, not annihilation. The Germanic tribes resisted conquest but also absorbed Roman culture, religion, and governance, blending the two worlds into the foundations of medieval Europe. Conclusion: the legacy of decisive wars. The decisive wars between Rome and the Germanic tribes were more than clashes of arms. They were transformative moments that reshaped the ancient world. While Rome demonstrated resilience and adaptability, the Germanic tribes proved that determination, knowledge of the terrain, and unity under strong leaders could counter the mightiest empire of its time. These wars ultimately led to the dissolution of the Western Roman Empire and the rise of Germanic kingdoms, laying the groundwork for the medieval European order. The legacy of these conflicts endures, reflecting the enduring. Conclusion: the legacy of decisive wars. The decisive wars between Rome and the Germanic tribes were more than clashes of arms. They were transformative moments that reshaped the ancient world. While Rome demonstrated resilience and adaptability, the Germanic tribes proved that determination, knowledge of the terrain, and unity under strong leaders could counter the mightiest empire of its time. These wars ultimately led to the dissolution of the Western Roman Empire and the rise of Germanic kingdoms, laying the groundwork for the medieval European order. The legacy of these conflicts endures, reflecting the enduring struggle between central authority and local autonomy. Banda NOI. Teep. ChatGPT da NOI. ChatGPT. 8. The Battle of Teutoburg Forest, 9 CE. Conflict: Roman expansion into Germania versus Germanic tribal resistance. Key events: Arminius, a Cherusei leader and former Roman auxiliary, orchestrated a coalition of Germanic tribes to ambush 3 Roman legions led by Publius Quinctilius Varus. The Germanic warriors, using the dense forest terrain and their knowledge of Roman tactics, annihilated the legions over 3 days. The Romans suffered devastating losses, including over 15,000 soldiers, and lost 3 eagle standards. Significance: this battle was a turning point, halting Roman expansion into Germania permanently. It solidified the Rhine River as the boundary between Roman and Germanic territories, profoundly shaping the geopolitical landscape of Europe. 9. The Batavian Revolt, 69 to 70 CE. Conflict: Batavian tribe versus Rome during the Year of the Four Emperors. Key events: led by Gaius Julius Civilis, a former Roman officer of Batavian descent, the revolt exploited the chaos in Rome during the Civil War. The Batavians initially won several victories, including the capture of Roman forts along the Rhine. The rebellion was eventually suppressed by Vespasian's forces after a series of bloody engagements. Significance: the Batavian revolt highlighted the vulnerability of Rome's northern frontier during periods of internal instability. It also showcased the capacity of Germanic tribes to organize sophisticated military campaigns against the empire. 10. The Battle of Argentoratum, 357 CE. Conflict, Roman defense of Gaul versus Alemanni incursions. Key events. Julian the Apostate, commanding a smaller Roman force, faced a massive Alemanni army near Strasbourg. Using disciplined formations and clever tactics, Julian's legions inflicted a decisive defeat on the Alemanni, capturing their leader, Cnodamar. This battle,